Right. So we have Adam here, our latest new podiatrist who just started this
Hi.
week. And I thought we would just do a quick video to see a bit about him and his views on certain things. So, Adam, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
And tell us a bit about your journey to how you become a podiatrist and then coming over to here, because you're not from this side of the water, are you?
No, fortunately not. So became a podiatrist. Long story short, I played cricket when I was younger. At about the age of 14, 15, I got a bad knee injury as a result. Saw a podiatrist, and it was that sort of stage in life where people ask you what you want to do. And I thought, yeah, that'd be cool, do that. And obviously the person I saw at this time was, I guess it was an MSK issue, so that intrigued me too. So led into podiatry and always had a focus. That's what I want to end up doing. So then started postgraduate study after podiatry in sports medicine. I went over and then took over a successful private practice in Northern Ireland.
Yep.
Worked on that for a while. I've worked with the Ministry of Defence in a Band 7 MSK role as well. And it sort of developed into very much sports medicine-y, sports podiatry role. I'm lucky enough to be associate lecturer in sports medicine masters over in Jordanstown University, and worked and continue to work in elite sport over in Ireland, which is nice.
And then any particular sports you're working with?
Yeah, so sort of involved with Sports Institute Northern Ireland, and then Ulster Rugby and Elms Irish Rugby as well.
Okay. And you say you're involved in education.
Yeah.
So then if you've got anyone aspiring who's thinking actually may want to do physiotherapy, podiatry, something sports related, any tips you would give someone who is thinking about going to study podiatry, or someone is actually who has just graduated thinking, right, I've just graduated from uni, I've got a really good interest in sports and musculoskeletal podiatry, where do I go next? What any things I could do to try and help further that?
Yeah, I would say sort of be persistent is number one. Sometimes initially sort of roles and jobs may seem attractive, but may not turn out to be what you think in terms of how much MSK you're going to get. I would shadow lots of podiatrists, but also see can you get involved with sports medicine consultants, physiotherapists, personal trainers, and strength and conditioning coaches, because the knowledge of lingo and the know-how of what they're up to, and ultimately what you're probably going to have doing elements of too, is so important. So I would say step out with podiatry to arm yourself with the lingo to be better doing sporty things within it.
Yeah, no, but it's the same route I took, because currently as it stands, there is no set training pathway in one of these sports and musculoskeletal podiatry. There's in London there is now a PG cert that's available in sports podiatry, but that's literally only been around for a couple of years. So yeah, I agree. It's a good on shadowing. So before you move over to him, you're working alongside or with a orthoses labs, and now I think your views are the same as mine. Is that actually orthoses can be very, very helpful, but actually they can be massively overused within our profession, and that MSK podiatry sometimes has this reputation about that actually you're going to see a podiatrist and you're going to get handed, always get handed orthoses, and that's not the case. I want to know actually, okay, what are your views around this, and actually other ways that we can then help treat people as well?
Yeah, so I think the difficulty is, I think a lot of podiatrists will spend certain elements of their week or time in their week defending a profession a little bit. From being orthotic shops or orthotic salesmen. There's certainly a role for orthoses in our profession, but I do think it seems to be a go-to too quickly. I don't think that's a fault of any certain practitioners. I think it's just a fault of maybe potentially education, really. So not arming us podiatrists with the knowledge of doing different things. I think it maybe is seen as being an easier, simple fix in terms of putting that in your shoe. And also, I think pain just patients like tangible things. So if you go in and get something, therefore it must get you better. Sometimes that's a good thing. Most of the time it's a bad thing. Because it's something which then can't work and things aren't destined to work. So they have a role in certain places. It's nice now to be in an environment where I can do more of my sort of rehabby things as well. We still will continue to use them, but hopefully in the next few years, I don't have to defend podiatry as much.
Yeah, that's my aim and my goal, because you're right. With when I graduated in 2009, the rehab side of things, I didn't get any training on that. All the stuff I'd done is through my masters, and then going shadowing, say, sports docs and strength and conditioning coaches, and whatnot. So you obviously like your sport. Clearly, you're not built like a marathon runner.
No,
Potato
eater.
Potato eater. So sport-wise, what are you currently doing now?
Well, I sort of just moved here, but so rugby, cricket, golf, and I'm currently seeing how strong I can get, so compete in powerlifting next year, hopefully. I need to lose a bit of weight. So rugby, cricket, golf, and powerlifting, I suppose. But I always get that questions from patients because I don't look like a triathlete, obviously. And I think some people then, I think you have to be a good runner to be a good podiatrist, and that annoys me a little bit. So I say I don't run, I just read a lot about it.
Yeah, I don't think it's the running aspect, it's the sport aspect itself, because runners, you say, if a runner's not running, they're unhappy. But when I ruptured my ankle ligaments and I wasn't playing hockey, my wife will definitely testify, I was grumpy, I was horrible, I just couldn't do anything, and that was out for 14 and a half weeks. And it's the same with any sport, I feel. It's sort of, that as long as we are playing sport and we're involved in it, we understand the emotional pain and the physical pain of not being able to do. And that's the same for any sport, whether it's running, golf, or whether it's even not even sport, even if you just want to go for a walk on a Sunday with your family. If that's what you enjoy and that's your hobby, then essentially that's what our clinic tries to do, is just to try and get people back to doing whatever activity they want to.
That's why playing is such a big socio-economic role as well. You keep people happy, they'll work better, they'll more likely to be in work. So we're getting people better, but I suppose keeping them sane as well.
If you were to sort of give any tips for any sports person to possibly try and reduce their risk of injury.
Thanks, Nate. Yeah, okay.
So it's a nice tough one on the spot. Obviously with the caveat that there is many factors that contribute towards injury risk and whatnot. But are there any tips that you would want to give people that actually, okay, you should be maybe trying to do this to try and give yourself the best chance you can?
Okay, so yeah, obviously depends what sport, depends what level, depends on who it is. But I think try and get advice from the right places and from different places. So not just the best runner in the club or the best player in the team. But the biggest advice, I would probably just implement strength training into what you're doing. I think that's probably the safest answer there. Essentially get as strong as you can. And I think strong doesn't necessarily mean big. So you can do strength training without getting big gains in mass, which puts some people off.
Oh yeah, but if you look at, I strength train, I'm not as big as you are, and if you look at other podiatrists, Charlie, she weight lifts on a regular basis, and she's not big at all. Yeah.
I'm joking.
Hopefully she doesn't. Well, she will see this, so yes, you're going to get lots of views at the next team meeting.
Yeah.
So if you had a runner come in, who presented, say, with what's commonly known as a mid-portion Achilles tendinopathy, so basically that is sort of pain in sort of the middle part of the Achilles tendon. Don't worry, I know I did speak to you guys about the Solomon Predicts, and I still need to do my video on how I'm getting on with them. I'm absolutely loving them at the moment, but that's a different video. So mid-portion Achilles tendinopathy, sort of how would you want to try and approach it from a management viewpoint?
Thanks for that one as well. I think the important thing to say about tendon injuries / rehab is there's no one set rule. So yeah, you've got sort of obviously eccentric protocol, and you'd sort of do that. If it's too sore, you'd do isometrics. But I think sort of constant eccentric, isometrics, plyometric, it all has a place. Big thing I'm a fan of is, patients can fluctuate from one stage to another.
Yeah.
So not just isometrics at the start. maybe in the middle, maybe the whole way through. So the big thing for me with somebody is setting a goal. So what do they want to do? What do we need to get them ready for? So whether it be high jump 10K or ultra marathon, how we rehab them and what we prepare that tendon, those structures to do, we're very different depending on the sport. And also reassessing as you go.
Yeah.
I think quite often we're really not as good at doing that across the board in sports medicine, physio, etc. as well. So set goals, sports specific goals, and reassess as you go.
Yeah, I think you hit there on headers. Then that comes under sort of managing expectations as you go. Because you said we've got all these different protocols, but actually every tendon is different. Like every person is different, and trying to lump it all together as one sometimes isn't. So let's have some easier questions. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh, that's a tough one.
I love it how you found the tendon questions and the advice easier than the tendon.
It's American Psycho.
Okay.
With Christian Bale's Patrick Bateman.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And between that and Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Do you know what, that was on TV the other day?
It's quite often
I
ITV4.
watched it. Yeah, it is. It is an ITV4 show. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Lager. Probably, if I'm honest. If that runs out, it's got to be pizza.
Okay, that's fine. Sort of sporting hero.
Sporting hero for me is Brett Lee.
Okay.
Ex-fast bowler for Australia.
Okay, perfect. Right, I think that will do.
Yeah, cool.
So I should really mention, so Adam's going to be with us on Mondays, Wednesdays at the Faraday Clinic in Basingstoke. So any questions, queries, just post us a comment, email us, you know how to get in contact with us by now. So yeah, we shall see you all later. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you. See you soon.
Yeah, see you later. Bye now.